Yeah, I think this discussion has many branches and several different threads within it. But the like again, alternatives matter. I don't believe in sacking a manager for the sake of sacking a manager, because I've been through so many shitty managerial changes throughout my Real Madrid fandom, going all the way back to after Del Bosque was sacked. It was just years of just a merry-go-round of managers, like 3 in 1 season sometimes. So like, count me out of the idea of like sacking somebody, bringing in like a Juan de Ramos mid-season, then a Luxemburgo, then a this, then a that, then a Solari, then a Raul. Like, with all due respect to Raul, who might turn out to be a great manager or a terrible one, we don't know. But and Allegri and Yogi Low, neither of those two names are exciting to me enough to sack Zidane. Sorry, I don't care how much you don't like Zidane. I just don't see an uptick worth the hassle of sacking him, plus the morale of the current starting lineup, all that stuff. But, and also, the other thing is, like, to me, talent is in a lot of ways more important than the actual manager. So Mbappe plus Zidane is a better combo than no Mbappe plus, I don't know, somebody else.
Yeah, plus.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Because,
I completely agree with you there. Yeah,
that combination will trump any other coach, I think. So there's all that. Like, superstars plus a good coach just works. And so that's one part of it. I also want to talk about the loyalty and the blind loyalty in a second. What are your thoughts about the question that Eric posed, which is, do you guys think our flat and boring performance are Zidane's fault or the fault of the squad, or both?
It has to be a bit of a mix, right? I mean, I don't think the club helped Zidane as much as they should have when Zidane. At least I think that Zidane was advocating for some changes when he first rejoined the team. At least he said that during his press conference. I think he probably expected more changes from the club, so I don't think the club helped him a lot in that perspective. But at the same time, I think that Zidane hasn't maximized the potential of the current tools and the current squad he was given. So to me, it's a mix of both. I think that the club could have probably signed a few players here and there, or even get rid of some players before than what they did last summer with James or Bale or whatever, just to make room for other players Zidane wanted. But at the same time, again, I think that Zidane could have probably done more with the current squad he was given. For example, I think that a player like Jovic or Odegaard or even Marcos Llorente could have been way better and way more useful for Real Madrid than what they ended up being. So it's a mix of both for me.
Mix of both is the right answer. I don't think people should get caught up into it's this person's fault only and this person's fault only. There's a list of things that Zidane is not ultimately at fault for. He's not at fault for some of the mistakes that Varane has made in the last couple of years. He's not at fault for Vinicius missing chances. He's not at fault for Marco Asensio having so much opportunity and not playing well, or just the variance. But he is at fault for not always putting the team in the best position to win, to have enough tactical versatility and creativity to rely on more things than just crosses that are terribly inefficient. He is at fault for just some of like the team's inability to deal with pressure, like the outlets, the spacing, a lot of that stuff. The other thing he's not at fault for is Hazard's health. He's not at fault for what else? I want to give him credit for something else. He should get a lot of credit for Real Madrid's defense, which has improved a lot. And if anything, like that should be a selling point for possibly getting farther in the Champions League, is because their defense is pretty reliable. So this ties into a different discussion now.
Llorente was a big mistake, Kiyan. I don't think we've talked about this enough.
Player selection, yes. I think the loyalty to certain, and this actually ties in nicely, the loyalty to a core group of players who gave him so much and rewarded him with so much. He has stayed loyal to those players. And That's sometimes that myth is exaggerated a little bit. It's not a myth, but it's sometimes that point is exaggerated a little bit. I mean, he's been willing to put Marcelo aside because Marcelo's been so poor and Mendy's been good. And he's been willing to give some of the younger players a chance. He's been given a lot of playing time to Vinicius and Rodrigo's appeared enough. But ultimately, there's a point that we try to make here, and I think that's apparent that he is loyal to a certain core of players, which has cost some of the younger talent to quote unquote suffer and maybe not get a chance. And maybe we don't see the repercussions now, but we will see in a few years. Hard to say. But I do believe in a lot of the young players, namely Reguilon, Llorente, and Odegaard. And I just want to bring another point into this mix, Lucas, because sometimes people make the comment or the argument that, well, we didn't know Marcos Llorente was going to be an attacking midfielder. And my response to that is, no, we didn't. But look at the way Zidane uses...
You should have known.
Well, look at the way Zidane uses Casemiro. It's basically the Llorente role. It's charge into the box. It's get into attacking positions. You need somebody to be press resistant, play ahead of the midfield. I mean, it's not that dissimilar. So like, I'm out on that discussion. I think that was a misjudgment in talent.
And you should have known. Even if you didn't, and if you should have known. He's your talent. You're seeing him training every single day. So someone at the club should have known. Someone even if not Zidane, someone at his coaching staff should have known that Llorente was capable of doing those things. To me, it's an unacceptable mistake the way Llorente has developed with Atletico de Madrid and the way you let him go. Even though the transfer fee was okay for considering how few minutes Llorente was getting for Madrid, the transfer fee was okay. I don't have a problem with the transfer fee, but Real Madrid could use a player like him. So it's an unacceptable mistake the way the Llorente thing went.
Two things to add to what you just said. Fede is another one who is used exactly the way Marcos Llorente is used at Atleti.
Yeah.
Sure, not as attacking, but making the exact same runs in the right half space over and over again in attacking positions. The other thing is, even if you just wanted to play him as a defensive midfielder, his skill set is very, very good, either as a Casemiro backup or as a starter in terms of his press resistance, his technical ability, all that stuff.